There's obviously been an internal debate in the Rouhani administration about the relaxing of the lockdown, and health ministry officials have been clear that they see it as a significant risk. And as we just heard from the medical professional that Sanam interviewed, there is this sense that is it a mistake to put the economy ahead of public health? And certainly from an ethical standpoint, we would think it might be. But at the same time, I think we need to remember that Iran is facing this challenge like many countries where now the lockdown measures are being relaxed because of economic pressure. But in some ways, Iran's position is unique because the country has experienced 2 years of significant economic contraction. And so ordinary Iranians may have, for example, spent their savings over the last 2 years to get through the difficult times that they have already gone through. And now, particularly for those who earn a daily wage, like day laborers, or those who are in sort of the manufacturing sector where any protracted downturn is a threat to their jobs, it's very difficult for them to sort of balance this idea that they need to stay home to contribute to the public health response versus the simple economic fact that they may not be earning enough to support their families. And I think that this has put the government in a significant bind. And of course, the Rouhani administration, in relaxing the lockdown, is taking a bit of a gamble about whether or not the economic relief that will be sort of gained will outweigh, in some sense, the possibility of further infections and a second wave that's been warned about by the medical professionals.
Behnam Ben Taleblu, you're in the United States, where you have a president who every day, it seems, is calling for the economy to restart and an easing of confinement rules. Did Iran do the right thing in beginning to ease that lockdown?
In my view, no. And while, again, this is a global pandemic and every country is going to experience the coronavirus crisis in a unique way, there are preconditions that, the Iranian relationship with China predispose it to make it into something of a unique case. Again, as Sana mentioned, the fact that there are documented flights anywhere from 50 to 55 of an IRGC-owned or controlled airline going to China during the time that the crisis was actually unveiled, mid to late February into March, of course. And then, of course, there's what made Iran in terms of deaths, because in terms of infections right now, if you look at official data, Turkey is beginning to overtake Iran. But if you look at the death rate, at least the official death rate, what makes it the Middle Eastern epicenter, and it's really 3 T's: trade, tourism, and terrorism. And the trade one, as Esfandyar knows, has taken a bit of a hit, but in the 2 dimensions that have mattered significantly for the Islamic Republic in the past year and a half, 2 years, to try to outlast this U.S. max pressure campaign. That's the non-oil trade, particularly the non-oil regional trade, and the illicit oil trade. And both of them have gone down, but both of them have continued nonetheless because the Islamic Republic believes it's vital to try to outlast max pressure.